Good morning. Today we'll be looking to the week ahead and thinking about those key data points that we can expect. Last week was a more volatile week for asset markets, and I'd just like everybody to refer to our week in markets that Kevin and Seb recorded on Friday to get our view and interpretation of those events. If we look to the week ahead, really, I think the key things that we'll be focusing in on is maybe a slight shift, particularly in the case of the US, from employment trends to that of inflation. And the inflation report on Wednesday will be quite key to supporting or inferring and helping the Federal Reserve reach a conclusion on how they're thinking about interest rate policy as they move towards that September meeting. Market expectations today are that we will see a change in interest rate policy in the US in September. The inflation data should be supportive of that. Really, it's the month-on-month trend that we're looking to see. A number of around 0.2% month-on-month is very much supportive of achieving the Federal Reserve's 2% average inflation target, and that should allow a change in policy to come through. Also during this week, in the US particularly, we'll have retail sales, which will be important just because we've seen some indication of some slowing in the consumer over recent months. And we'll also continue with reporting season. This week in particular, hearing from the likes of Walmart and Home Depot, who will give a good insight into that consumer environment. Just bringing it closer to home then and looking to the UK, quite an important set of data this week across employment, inflation and GDP, all factors that will be influential as the Bank of England looks to assess monetary policy trajectory into the second half of this year. Just if we start with unemployment, there has been a number of issues with the unemployment data of late, the quality of the data and the depth of it. That being set aside, we're expecting a slight uptick in the unemployment rate over the month, and we'll see that tomorrow. If we move into then the inflation number on Wednesday, I think really the critical component there is what we see in terms of services inflation. Services inflation has been that stickier element relative to goods, and something that we do need to see starting to tail off to allow that inflation number to really sit consistently in a comfort range for the Bank of England. GDP at the end of the week on Thursday, really it's about what can the surprise be, if any. The first quarter GDP number for the UK was a surprise in terms of its strength. But let's see what we can get for the second quarter. We already know what the April and May numbers are, so it's really about what June delivers for us. Over in Asia, over the course of the week, really the focus is towards the end of the week with data from China. Not really expecting to see any benefit there from the changes in policy decisions from the PBOC in recent months, or in recent weeks, I should say. But again, it probably highlights that challenge that we've been discussing over recent months in terms of the weakness in Chinese data. I'll leave it there for today, but please do join the team over the course of the week when we'll be looking at more in depth at these various factors.